Welcome back, everybody. So I have a little bit different of a video today. I try to keep all my videos light and entertaining and easily digestible, but with everything going on with Hurricane Harvey and the damage that it's doing, it's all over Twitter and the news and everywhere on the internet, I see that there was an opportunity for me to do my part and try and help, so that's what this video really is about. I'm sure all of you have heard something about Hurricane Harvey in Houston, Texas. It was a massive hurricane and the flooding right now is just terrible, and the damage that it's doing is just, it's really hard to see. The top link in the description is going to be to the Red Cross donation page for Hurricane Harvey victims. I donated making this video. If you have the means to do so, please do so. Every single bit helps for them. I also figured I should mention that all the proceeds generated from this video, both from YouTube's monetization as well as the Amazon affiliate links in the description, will be donated to the Red Cross donation page for Hurricane Harvey victims. So on to the actual video. I selected 5 different products that prepare you for a disaster situation. They all do different functions, but they work very well together. If you live in a disaster-prone area, I highly recommend taking some type of precautions. Even if you don't, it's still good to be prepared. You really never know what's going to happen. So we're going to go through these products and see what they do and test them out if applicable. So the first product is a UPS battery backup, and now this will give you a few hours of power if your power goes out. Post that so it can keep you connected to the internet, allow you to communicate with people. You can charge your devices that you need to have charged for whatever situation is happening. Now this comes in at $60, so it's the most expensive item on this list, but in a lot of ways it's the most important. Being able to communicate to the outside world in a disaster situation is definitely one of the most important things that you can do. Okay, and that is all that's in the box. So this is the unit itself. It's a 330 watts UPS. It has 7 different outlets on top. Now all 7 of these outlets are surge protected, so if you're going through power surges as well, it will protect your electronics so you can stay powered up and able to do whatever you need to do, whether it be communication or access to the internet or how to prepare or anything like that. Power is a very important factor. Once you lose power, that can be a very scary situation. So what you do with this type of thing is you plug it in and it will charge itself up, and honestly I would use it like a power strip, so you have it plugged in, you have your most important things plugged into it, like your network or your computer or your phone, and then while it's plugged in it'll be charging, so even when the power goes out, it will still be powering your devices for a few hours after that, of course depending on how much power your devices are consuming. So I just plugged it in right now, so the battery inside is charging up, so if the power went out, it would still have power within it. There's also a USB port that I didn't mention, so if you want just a dedicated USB port to power your phone or something, that is there. But other than that, it's actually, that is a receipt, I think? Quality assurance test. So because this is a very important type of product, you know, people depend on it, they have this whole sheet taped onto the actual product. It has a wide variety of different quality control tests that it puts it through, because when people buy this, they're buying it because they're going to depend on it on some point, and it's going to be, could be the difference between being able to get communication to the outside world or not. So obviously that quality control plays a really big part in it, and there's also a USB data port and a circuit breaker button over there, but other than that, that's really what this accomplishes. This is your hub for power if your power goes out. This could be one of the most important things you have, but it is also the most expensive, so that is worth noting. The next product is a first aid kit. Now this is a 100-piece first aid kit, so it has 100 different pieces in there, and it only costs $15. This is something that even if you're not trying to prepare for a disaster, I would recommend buying. You never know when a first aid kit could come in handy. Injuries happen all the time. I honestly don't know what the 100 pieces would look like. 100 sounds like a lot to me, but we're gonna open up and find out. I'm not gonna go through all 100, that would take forever, but you know, we got antibiotic ointment, burn cream, with aloe vera in there. You got an instant cold compress, so let's see how to use this. Shake contents of the bottom bag, squeeze firmly. Oh yeah, oh whoa, that's cold. Oh. So that's like an instant ice pack that you have. I'm sure there's some type of chemical reaction going in there. Ooh, that is cold. You have emergency telephone numbers, rubber gloves, band-aids, a lot of bandages and stuff like that. These are gauze pads. There's really a lot of different stuff in here, so I'm assuming like when they have 10 different Band-Aids, that would be 10 different pieces because of the 100 pieces. You have some type of medical tape here. So this is just like the basics of what you need. There are a lot of first aid kits on Amazon that I was looking at, you know, some with like 500 pieces, 1,000. So you can obviously tailor that to your own needs. I figured that for the purpose of this video, 100 would do just fine, but I am gonna actually go put this where I'm living and have it there, so if I ever need a first aid kit, it's there for me. Next up, we have an ER emergency ration bar. Now this is a 3,600 calorie bar, a food bar. It's enough that should last 3 days of food supply for you if you're in a situation where you don't have access to food. They're split into 9 individual 410 calorie rations, so you can split that however you like. A 5-year shelf life, so before you open it, it has 5 years, and it can withstand extreme conditions and temperatures, so whether it's very cold or very hot. And with this whole packaging, it's also resealable. It should be waterproof and anything like that, so you should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a test because I've heard about these types of bars that are supposed to just pack in calories and nutrients. That is not what I was expecting. Okay, so this would be a 410 calorie piece of the bar. It doesn't really taste like anything. It's really dense. It has a lemon vanilla flavor, it says, and it's supposed to be non-thirst provoking. Although my first thought after biting into that was I'm thirsty now. I mean, for $10, you're getting something that would last you 3 days in a disaster situation. Definitely something I could see being useful having around, but really only the worst of situations would require you to have this. But it's kind of just like a bad cookie. Now this is a very interesting product. I'm excited to test this one out. This is called the LifeStraw. It comes in at $15. It's a personal water filter, so if your supply of water is cut off, you're able to use this as a straw to drink any kind of water. It removes 99.9999% of bacteria and 99.9% of protozoa. Yes. It can filter up to 264 gallons of water before needing to be replaced. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. I have heard of this before doing research for this video. This is the end they put in the water, and this is the end you use as a straw. It does look like a mouthpiece. So I actually have a cup of water here. Now this water is already clean, but it will still work in terms of the purpose of this video. So I just put it in the water like that. Oh. That's good. So one thing that surprised me there is I thought I have to use a lot of suction to get the water to come through, and at first I did just to get it up the tube, but once it was flowing all the way through, it was honestly just using like a regular straw in a cup of water. You know, you could put this into like a river, or like if it was flooding like it is in Houston, you could literally put this in the flood water and it should be able to filter out almost everything bad, so you should be able to have an access to clean water. This is really interesting. I'm gonna keep this one around. Alright, and the last product also goes with if the power goes out. So this is an LED lantern. Comes in at $21, and its claim to fame really is that it lasts 6 days once it's got the batteries in there. So if you do not have access to power for lighting at nighttime, it can get very dark and you want to be able to see, and this is where this lantern would come in. Now unfortunately, it needs 3 D-sized batteries. That's something I don't have, and that's something that's probably another $10 or $15. I know D-sized batteries are pretty expensive. However, if you did have it, it supposedly gets really bright at 600 lumens, and it is waterproof. So in a situation with flooding or something like that, the water is not gonna play a big part with this, so maybe you're in somewhere dark in water and you need to be able to see, and this could help you there. Alright, conclusion time, and I've actually filmed this conclusion like 10 times, but I bounced between the idea of making this video or not making it for a while, and ultimately it came down to, even if just one person saw this video and thought, okay, I live in a disaster-prone town, maybe I should have a first aid kit, and they got one, and then 10 years later, there was a disaster, but they had the first aid kit and they needed it and it helped them, then making this entire video was worth it. Like everything I do on this channel is mostly entertainment focused, just lighthearted fun, stuff you want, cool tech. but I saw an opportunity here to use the audience I have and the format I have here to actually try to help people and prevent anyone from being in a situation where they find themselves in a disaster and are not properly prepared. And if I could even just help one person or possibly help one person, then making this video is worth it. As I mentioned, the first link in the description is the Red Cross donation page for Hurricane Harvey. If you have the means, I highly recommend you do so. Every single bit helps. That said, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to see more content. And as always, stay classy and stay safe.
And that's what I call high quality H2O.